all set?
Yes, I'm all set.
Okay. Before we start the public hearing, I'd like to introduce our new town manager, Ryan Lockwood.
Everybody?
Started Monday, right? Last Monday.
Last Monday.
Yep. Okay, this is a public hearing. It was requested by Rama Snyder over his dismissal on the Town Planning Commission. You want to lead off, Rama, since
No, you guys take the lead on this, sir. I just wanted 5 minutes at 6 o'clock. We wanted to do a full public hearing at 5:30, so I don't know what I'm responding to at this point. So I think you should tell people what I'm supposed to be responding to. You said you were gonna read the emails. Read them, please. Read them loud. If you don't want to, I will. I'll be happy to.
it's up to you. I can start off with how it all came about. Back, it was about 3 weeks ago, I guess it was. I was contacted by James Ellers. He's Chief of Staff for Lieutenant Governor of the state. And at first he contacted his town staff at Barber in May, and they forwarded him on to me. And he says, Chair Hebert, I have numerous emails from a member of your planning commission personally attacking the lieutenant governor for his political party affiliation. The lieutenant governor even called the individual to help ameliorate the situation, but sadly, the individual apparently felt emboldened to continue his verbal and written assaults. This has been going on 10 months at this point, so I have taken liberty to address this. It's a waste of resources and unbecoming of a public official. If you feel it would be productive and you have the authority to address the matter, I will say the names, examples of his correspondence. If nothing can be done, I will just continue to file them with the Capitol Police in case this individual crosses another line in the future. I'm not interested in creating more issues for you, given the already challenging situations which town officials like yourself deal. Thank you for your consideration and your service to Williamstown and the state of Vermont. With gratitude, James Ellers. And I responded to him and said, hi, James. Yes, provide me with the name and what information you have regarding this matter. I would agree there's no place for this type of behavior from someone representing our town. Send it to me directly. Thank you for your heads up, Larry. So he sent me 3 of the emails. He's supposed to be sending me the rest, approximately 9 more. The first one started back on April 11th. This is from Rama to the Lieutenant Governor. Yep, Rogers, you're what I thought you are, a perfect fit for the only Vermont political party to provide special dispensation to a proven unrepentant rapist, proven and unrepentant business fraud, proven and unrepentant serial liar, a proven and unrepentant traitor to our nation. Also, your freely chosen Vermont GOP could push the rapist to be president for our United States. Actions, Rogers, actions. You and your buddy Scott are pathetic cowards willing to sell off our constitutional government for some idealized 1990s era agenda. Then on, next one I have was a little bit later, on May 20th. Vermont General Assembly. It wasn't that long ago, as perfect as we were a nation,
Imperfect as we were.
Democracy and personal freedoms were hallmarks of the United States foreign policy. Likewise, it wasn't that long ago that women obtained an individual right of bodily autonomy. And a short 5 months ago, our climate crisis and our grandkids' realistic shot at a free, healthy, and sustainable future was a national priority. Not long ago, the federal and many states put emphasis on upgrading our nation's infrastructure and much more. It all ended with the likes of the Vermont GOP put their hearts and faith in a proven and unrepentant rapist, business fraud, serial liar, and obvious traitor to our nation, Trump, and pushed the rapist to be president of our United States. As it turned out, the vile, hateful, violent, racist, bigot, authoritarian agenda of the rapist Trump's GOP, Vermont GOP, managed to gain full control of our federal government, and they have turned this government against Americans. The only possible response to this actual state level action, no actions does not include proclamations, but unfortunately we currently stuck with a governor who counsels us to avert our gaze, cover our ears, and shut the fuck up, and a lieutenant governor who apparently agrees with that advice. You folks, you are the folks who are in a position to force the state to take action, please do so. And then the latest one was on December 13th this year, 25, from Rama Snyder, message, lying sack of shit, rapist, racist, bigot, authoritarian Trump, put all on display. Meanwhile, Vermont Gov, what would you suppose I should do? Remains in Cali in severe silence. Vermont Lieutenant Governor Rogers told me straight up he had found his home in the rapist, wholly owned Vermont GOP, and the GOP and Vermont GOP. So at our meeting, our budget meeting, we had executive session, and 4 members were present, and the 4th was made aware of it. I think you agreed with it.
Yes.
And the letter was sent out to Rama Snyder based on recent information received regarding ongoing verbal attacks on our Lieutenant Governor, Governor, and President, approximately 12 over the last 10 months. Your appointment to the Williamstown Planning Commission by vote of the Select Board is hereby rescinded. Freedom of speech and political disagreement are part of our democracy. However, the aforementioned actions have breached the code of ethics training that you have completed. These actions have gone way beyond that and have no place for anyone on commissions representing our town. Sincerely, Larry Hebert, Chair, Select Board Chair. So that's what the Select Board had to deal with, and I'm gonna turn it over to Rama now to respond.
All right, first I want to start with the town manager. You really need to talk to the select board, very important, about a couple of things. One of them is how they handle open meeting law, because that's part of the reason why we're sitting here. A week after Ellers contacted you, without even bothering to mention it to me at all, you guys went into a secret meeting without any indication on the agenda as to what that meeting was about. No opportunity for anybody, much less me, to be able to get up and participate. Made a decision in secret, and then you came out and made your decision after the cameras had all been, well, no, the cameras were still on, I guess, but after everybody had gone home. That's why, so they really need a lesson in the open meeting law. They violated it left and right. The other thing is public records law. If you read through this email chain, Larry Hebert's personal email is in this email chain. It's town business. I put in a request for public records documents regarding Larry providing information out of his personal email. I've received absolutely no response. So you need to really talk. That's legal issues. That's not around the thing. That's simple, basic, open meeting, public records law. So having said that, first off, I want people to know, I stand by 100% of the words I said there. You may not like the way I put it. I meant every word. I meant every intent. I just literally meant it all. I want to hand something out here. The select board, first of all, the select board does, gosh, I had something else for you. The select board does have the right to remove somebody from a planning commission without cause. They don't have to give a reason. There's absolutely no, they can just say, we don't like your haircut, we don't like the way you wear your blue jeans, it doesn't matter. I only have a few of these, so I need to hold on to one, so pass them around if you're interested. I don't debate that the select board can just remove me at will. That's not what's at issue here. What's at issue here is why they say they're removing me. And probably the most insulting part of this is that I somehow breached the code of ethics training that I completed. Something else you ought to go back over then with. I went back over that thing 2 more times after I'd taken it, just to make sure that what you were saying was dead wrong. It's dead wrong. There is no mention. As a matter of fact, the Vermont Municipal Code and Ethics disallows these 4 items: conflicts of interest or the appearance of a conflict of interest, using one's municipal position, municipal property, or municipal personnel for personal gain, improper professional treatment, and accepting or soliciting gifts with the intent of a gift is to influence municipal official actions. That's what's in the training. I copied that out of the training. Nothing addresses how I decide to speak to my lieutenant governor. Nothing. So that we know that's, it can't be about the language, because let's face it, for 4 years of Biden, driving north on Route 14, they had to go under "fuck Biden," flying right over the highway. That was no problem for the town. So it can't be about my usage of profanities, because profanities get used in town, they get used in public, they get used in open. So, you know, I don't believe it's about profanity. I know it's not about the ethics, because there's nothing included in the ethics. So I have my own beliefs about your motivations, but you know, it's irrelevant, because like I said, you guys can just say, listen, we don't like your shoes off the planning commission. That's fine, I accept that. I'm not even asking to get back on, by the way. You guys are pretty irrelevant in this to me. I just want to introduce myself, because people talk about me, and a bad impression gets around. So here I am. I'm married for 38 years. Actually, it'll be 38 in April. Close enough. Tax-paying citizen since I was 13 years old. 7 years in the U.S. military. Moved to Vermont after I got out of the Army originally in 1981. Resident of Williamstown for 34 years. That actually will be true in June of this year. Volunteered at the Ainsworth Public Library, substitute teacher in our local elementary, middle, and high schools for a couple of years. Assisted in vote counting and ballot transportation, watered the downtown flowers, served on EC Fiber Committee and CV Fiber Board. These are the communications union districts. Helped prepare foods and wash the pots and pans for local church suppers. Served as Williamstown Historical Society President. Served as Williamstown and Penny Mountain School District Boards. Chaired the Williamstown and Orange North Supervisory Union Boards. Chaired the Williamstown Northfield School District Merger Committee. Chaired the Williamstown ATV Road Use Committee. Served on the Williamstown Planning Commission. No, that's past tense now. I have no problem with that. 13 years in counting as treasurer and general flunky for the Williamstown Food Shelter. This is what loyalty and fidelity looks and sounds like, folks. This is loyalty to my neighbors. This is fidelity to my community. This is when somebody around me needs help, I reach out and I help. And I do this, and I've always done this, despite having some disagreements, big disagreements at times, with people that I've been perfectly willing to help, or that have helped me out. That's loyalty. That's fidelity. Okay. I would also say, you know, probably the highlight of my time in Williamstown, I raised my daughter. old time. She bought some of our property, put a house on it. Best years of my life was raising my daughter. That's neither here nor there as such, but it just is. This is being part of a community. How I choose to address the lieutenant governor who gets butthurt over insulting language, what he considers insulting language from the constituents, I don't know. Maybe you think that's representing Williamstown bad. I don't. Personally, I think calling out people for doing what they're doing when you think they're being destructive of what's around you is important. I also think, there's been a court case, Trump's a rapist. There's been a court case, Trump's a convicted felon. It's obvious day-to-day lies that come out of his mouth. And I'll admit, the obvious traitor to the nation probably falls more under opinion than fact. I stand by every one of those statements. And I'll stand by every one of those statements, including if I have to go out and help somebody change a tire on the road tonight, including when I go down and help with the food shelf. Okay? So this bit, I'll just leave it. I don't know why they rushed. And believe me, it was a rush. You look at the email chain they got from Ellers, it took them a week to go into a very secretive meeting in order to deal with this issue. 1 week. Didn't bother contacting me at all. That's not loyalty to the community. That's not fidelity to the community. That's taking Montpelier and a whiny lieutenant governor and saying, oh gosh, let's go do his bidding. Because we don't like the way that Lieutenant Governor and Trump are being talked about. That's fine. You don't have to like it. And you can even ask me to leave this, you can even throw me off the planning commission for it. Williamstown will lose. I'm not the only person that can do the job on the planning commission. I'm not the brightest bulb in the chandelier all the time. Sometimes I am pretty bright, not always. But I can do the work on the planning commission. I'm very comfortable with the work on the planning commission, with the complexities involved with it, with the tools that needed to go through some very complex questions. But they chose Montpelier and Washington, D.C. over Williamstown's planning commission. It's literally what happened here. So I'm not asking to get back on the planning commission. I asked for this public hearing for one reason and one reason only. They went in secret, without even bothering to mention it to me, or to let anybody else in the town know about town business. They went into secret behind all of our backs, violated the open meeting law, and took their action. And that's why, when they sent me the letter, I said, well, you decided there was a formal charge, I get to have a public hearing. That's why we're here. So, that's all I got to say.
I'll respond to it. We went into executive session under personnel issue. Remember, the planning commission is part of town personnel. You get paid if you're on planning commission. You represent the town of Williamstown on planning commission. I did it in executive session, so we wouldn't have to put you on public display, but you chose to be on it. So now you're on it.
No, you didn't, Larry, you didn't even invite me to the public. No. You didn't even notify me about it. No.
I didn't have to.
Yeah, wrong. You know what? Why don't you, this is why, you really need to talk to them. You need to talk to the VLCT. Yeah, no, because you're lying to people, Larry. I know you're lying.
Every time you come here, we're doing something wrong.
You're lying to them.
You get mad and you walk out the door.
No,
You've done that so many times. I know.
Larry, you're lying to people. You know it. You've been on these boards for so longer than I have. You know the open meeting law.
I do.
And
the only one had a problem with it.
And you just, why do they, you know why you put something more than just we're going in to talk about personnel issue? Especially when, gee, I don't know, we've got like an ex-town manager that might be part of a personnel issue discussion. Who knows what the hell you're talking about? We're supposed to know. I didn't know, and it was about me. So don't lie. Don't lie. Be honest, Larry.
I am being honest.
No, you're not.
from, I don't know how to say this nicely, but if this been a one-time occurrence, like you say, if somebody got mad and said something, I've done that before, I'm sure everybody in this room has done that before. But a dozen times, emailing somebody.
How do you know a dozen? How many did you see there?
Read what you said again?
Yeah, I know, count the emails he sent you.
He sent me 3.
So
I
you
haven't
don't,
got, I haven't
I
got the
have
rest.
an open records
I just-
request with that office too,
Right.
that they have not responded to beyond to say we received the thing. I'm interested in seeing a dozen emails myself.
Were there
so.
more than 3?
You don't know, do you? You don't fucking know. You're sitting here accusing
I
me
asked
of
you a
it, and
question.
you don't know. But you don't know. You've already decided,
Right.
Larry, and you don't know. Listen, it doesn't matter if there's 1, 2, 5, a dozen, or 1,000. It really doesn't matter.
No.
Because I would, with,
You missed the point what I just
I
said.
mean each and every word that I said about it. It was about
fine.
politics. It had nothing to do with Williamstown. You guys decide it has something to do with Williamstown, that's fine, you're entitled to that. You don't have any say-so in that one. But just understand, you're wrong.
Okay. If you say so, I'll take it at your word. Mike?
I just got a question. So when you guys deal with other personnel issues, do you, and you have to go into executive session, do you notify those people? Or,
Depends what the situation is.
okay, so some have been, some haven't, okay. I just
Sometimes
wondered.
you have to have them in there, sometimes you don't.
Okay, I was just wondering, I didn't know, so.
I mean, I don't know what the rest of the board feels, but if it'd been one-time occurrence, I would have said, well, you got hot and that was it, something happened. But you go, I don't know exactly if it's a dozen, he said approximately a dozen over a 10-month period.
Yeah, but you
It
know,
goes-
he said
it
they're
goes-
threatening too, Larry, so
it
there's
goes-
nothing threatening in a single word of those.
Whether it's threatening or
No,
disregard.
no, wait a minute, we're
That's
talking,
ridiculous.
Ellers, first of all, cannot be believed because he said that those were threatening. There's not a threatening word in those, and I don't care if you like my language.
You were just lieutenant governor, it
Absolutely
was the
not.
governor as well.
What, I'm not allowed to write about the governor?
I don't
I'm
care.
not allowed
It
to.
must have been.
As far as I'm concerned, you haven't changed my mind one bit.
I'm not here to change your
I
mind.
don't know about the rest of the
No.
board.
I'm not here to
I mean,
change your
if he was
mind.
bringing it to the Capitol Police, he must have seen,
Yeah,
Really, what? What did he say? You see, this is where the bullshit comes in.
well, no,
Yeah.
apparently he had enough concern to bring it to the
Did
Capitol
he?
Police.
You know, I contacted the Capitol Police, put in an open records request for my name showing up there. 0. Not a freaking mention. Not a mention. Ellers is not being honest. Now, he may be honest about what's in those emails, but as far as like this, ooh, this is threatening. Hey, you guys, come on. Hey, you know, listen, it's stupid. I don't care about the planning commission. You got it. I'm not gonna be on it. You don't have to give me any more money for to be on the planning commission. But you're taking Ellers' words.
he didn't write these emails, you did.
I wrote the emails, but you're saying like, oh, they must be threatening because he's turning them over to the Capitol Police. No, he's not.
It sounds
No,
like,
he's not, and you can verify that yourself by putting in an open, they actually respond fairly quickly. You can put in an open records response. Ellers is lying about that. He doesn't know how many emails are in there.
I'll go on by what I was given, the information I was given.
Yeah, I know,
I know,
and that's why you.
I saw enough with 3, I don't need to see all a dozen, I can't imagine they're a whole lot different. Although I will give you credit, you did write a piece in the Northfield News, a little editorial in the corner.
Well, I
And it was
also.
totally opposite of this.
No.
Everybody should get along, learn how to be nice to each other.
I'll
I
tell
meant
you
to bring
what,
it, I
I
forgot
will
it.
never, in my life, I do not like rapists, I do not like unrepentant rapists. Trump is an unrepentant rapist. Forget about the felony conviction, forget about the lies and all this other stuff. There's an actual, honest to God, court case where jurors sat down, heard the complainant out, heard Trump out, including Trump repeating his great phase about where he can grab women because he's rich and famous. He repeated that, said, yeah, that's still true.
What has that got to do with the
What
data
that-
government and the governor?
Because you're telling me that I'm being insulting to people, and all I'm doing is calling them out.
Can
That's it.
ask something?
You
I-
were
I
a
don't-
representative of Williamstown at the time, though,
Huh?
regardless. I said you were a representative of
On
Williamstown at
the
the
planning
time.
commission, really?
And so does every one of us.
Really?
So
On the
any of our
planning
actions
commission?
are gonna come back and bite us in the ass too, Rama.
On the planning commission, come on.
Cody has something he wants to say.
So I don't have any history with you, Rama, and I really try hard not to hear chatter and base judgments off from that. I can't speak for the board, I can only speak for myself. I will tell you that I did bring up, and if we are doing something, going into executive session wrong, I would like to know about it. So if you
I
can point
told
me
you.
in the right direction of how do we fix that?
Vermont Leagues of Cities and Towns. I mean, why believe Rama? Seriously,
No,
honestly, no, I'm saying that without guile. Why believe me on this? Vermont Leagues of Cities and Towns. All I do is repeat what they say.
okay.
That's what I do.
Okay, because I do want to do things the right way. So besides that point, again, I got onto the select board because I was tired of the behavior of how people just insult each other. It's unbecoming of somebody who is in office, regardless of whether it's the planning commission, select board, president, whatever. I was tired of it. I've worked 10 years in this town with the kids trying to promote how to have constructive and encouraging and positive interactions. And so whether it's planning commission, whether it's you, whether it's anybody, my personal opinion is if you are holding a public office, you are held to a higher standard. And you have your opinions, and I have no problem with that. We all have different opinions, and that's fine. We all have that. But when you're in public office and you represent that town, we do need to be careful. People get fired all the time because of posts they make about their work. And you're held to a higher standard, and you have the right to use that language. But just my personal opinion is if we're gonna have people in office, public office for Williamstown, they need to be held to a higher standard, and just going around insulting people, and especially if it's habitually,
Well.
I personally, I'm not okay with it.
So, you know, when you turn on the radio and the TV, you see advertising, it gets repeated for a purpose. There's a reason why. Because repetition is what builds up a recognition of a particular, whatever it is that you're presenting. When I do things like this, where I have a very specific message I'm sending, I will repeat it. And I'll repeat it because advertising says, repeat it. If you want to get somebody to pay attention, if Rama Schneider sends one email to the governor's office or the lieutenant governor's office, probably gets skipped over, that's it. Never remember. But if I send 5, 6, I don't know, maybe it doesn't, it could be, be honest, it could be. I don't think I sent more than one a month. I mean, my schedule that I had on it, I had for, a matter of fact, it was only a period of like a couple months where I sent, I think, 3. That was for deliberate scheduling. So it's repetition. I'm not, listen,
I agree with you.
Rogers is the one that called me, remember that. I had no interest in calling, I just wanted to tell him what I thought about him and forget about it. He called me, you know? And he's the one that told me that what I was saying about him was accurate, he just didn't like the words I was using. So,
Jasmine?
Cody, there's a book that Vermont League of Cities and Towns puts out that's a select board handbook. It's very helpful with things like that.
Okay, thank you.
So I'm
Yeah, I got
saying
You didn't receive one last year?
No, I don't think they're actually doing it like in print anymore, it's online.
I have one somewhere.
Everything's online.
Yeah, that's how it is.
I've got one of those books somewhere, if somebody wants to look at it.
Yes.
Anyway,
I think I got one that's about this thick.
Yeah, well,
it is 7:00, the public hearing is concluded. I don't think there's any change, is there?
No,
Okay, our decision stands. Okay, now we get on to the regular meeting. The first item is, Pledge of Allegiance. Oh, by the way, guys, I asked Ryan to look into maybe getting us a little better flag than this.
hey, it's got 50
He had the idea of
stars
getting a
worth
Vermont flag and American
Yeah.
flag.
I'll order them, this will be a foot longer, and then as the years go on, we'll go.
of- We did it to them all.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we got set the agenda. Does anyone have, board members have anything to add to the agenda? Everyone good with it, the way it is? All set with it? Okay, I need a motion to approve the agenda as written.
Make the motion to approve the agenda as written.
I'll second it.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Review of open public comments is a laminated sheet on the back shelf back there, how we conduct our meetings. And, anybody's interested in looking at it? Is there any select board announcements?
None for me.
Are there any public announcements? What commissions, committees, trustees, emergency service reports, other board announcements? Okay, next item is approval of warrants SB 22175 and 176. Can I have a motion on that?
Make the motion to approve as written.
Second that.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion
I rescind, there's fire department issues on, or fire department expenditures on it.
on both, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. But else, you don't need to go up with it?
I don't think so.
Go to, okay. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, next one item is the payroll warrants for 214, 228, 1214, 1228, and 111. Do we have a motion on those?
I make the motion to approve as written.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, any discussion?
I have to rescind from 1228.
And I have to do 14.
Okay, well, let's do them individually then.
Yep.
The first one is 1214. All in favor of 1214?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Good. Next one is 1228. All in favor of 1228?
Aye.
Aye.
I abstain.
And 111. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. Okay, then we're gonna approve the select board meeting minutes of 12:08 and 12:22. Have a motion on that?
Make the motion as written.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, any discussion?
I just found a few errors. I know, I read through them. On the December 8th, under public comments, third line down, right to the, all the way to the right, it says, he said that the road foreman said told. So delete told, because then it said, if you delete the word told, it said, he said that the road foreman said that it is, not said told. Does that make sense? And
With
then,
that, yes, eliminate told.
yeah.
Okay, there we go, yep.
And then, maybe there was one, oh yeah, on the second page, Under old business, 10th line down, kind of starting up, it says, by wording the motion like he did, he didn't. I would just put a comma in between did and he. Some sort of punctuation there. It's kind of a run-on sentence. That's the only, other than that, you're doing a great job, man. I have a lot more grammatical errors than everyone I write a paper, so.
I'd say a comma would.
Actually, can I make a suggestion, Tyler?
Sure.
You're good at catching this stuff, typos and things like that. If you could get together with the town manager or May prior to the
Yeah,
meeting,
that's fine.
she could get it adjusted and then we'd
We can
be
do that.
approving and we'd be signing them and
Works
do
fine for me.
Right,
It's a good idea.
or anybody else for that matter, if they got issues.
you're good at picking out the typos. there's no
And my
doubt.
wife's even better than me, because if I write something, I give it to my wife before I send it.
I'm not the one to be checking them. I'm
And just so, I will not change anything that May writes in terms of words, it's just gonna be grammatical. That makes sense?
Yep.
Like, if there's anything negative about me, she can say it.
Okay, Ryan, you do your very first town manager report.
All right, well, I don't have a super detailed one. It just started a week ago, but I'm settling in. First week was mostly introductions and trying to get access to all the different portals and organizations and all that stuff I need to pay bills and all that good stuff with. As far as a town manager report, what do you guys usually look for in a report? So like, my previous town, I would just give a run through of all the projects we've been working on and where they stand kind of thing. And then whatever highlights that come up, like major stuff that you guys.
Pretty much what you just said.
Okay,
And usually, Jack, you would do like delinquent
Taxes,
taxes
yeah.
and water and
oh,
sewer and
okay,
stuff.
all right.
Where they're at, where they stand.
Like the totals where we're, yeah,
Yep.
okay, gotcha, okay. So the one update I do have is the demolition project, that's going on in 2 spots on Meadow Street. They finally set some dates to that. They are scheduled to commence this Wednesday, and they don't expect the project to last any further than Tuesday, January 27th. We've sent out, certified mail notifications to all the neighbors, property abutters, just to let them know, and everything should be marked off and should go pretty smooth.
So that's the total destruction of the house, the abatement of the, any asbestos has already been taken care of now?
Yep,
Good.
and we included that right in the letter, so.
Is Julie gonna get one of those?
What's that?
Is Julie gonna go get a notification?
The lady where she does the beehive stuff across Red Dead.
She was supposed to be here tonight.
Oh, God.
She called to see if the
You wanna
meeting
call
was
her?
still tonight. No, she.
So that's good, that'll get
Yeah.
things cleaned up over there. Probably, I can't imagine they'll be able to complete it till spring, snow's gone, but
Yeah.
there's landscaping stuff goes.
Yeah, that was the only thing, like the landscape, if you go by the house, I think there's granite blocks that help, like that would be nice if those got all pulled, because eventually this is gonna be a park, right, essentially, just a, so having all
Space of
those,
some variety.
yeah,
Supposed to be left so it can be mowed.
yeah. I just noticed those granite blocks, that's where I kinda walked my dog many years, and just that way, at least people can walk on it and not fall 3 feet off of granite.
Yeah, it'll be all.
What was it, granite ledge?
Never know, they could be part of the facade.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I got.
That's it? Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, on to new business. Billtown Whalers.
We're just looking for approval of the current ordinance, just like we've had for the last 5 years.
Nothing's changed or?
Okay,
Not this time, nothing's changed.
that's what I was looking, I didn't see anything, I said there's no changes.
Not yet. We're working on some things, but nothing.
I gotta be honest with you, the trail goes down by my shop and on Business Center Road there and everybody's always going slow and respectful and I haven't heard anything from anybody negative about it since you guys started it, so.
Great.
You're doing a good job with it,
We're
here.
trying our best to keep the speeds down, but
Sweet.
I do know that wheelers are blocked right now because they can't get through, but ATVs are coming up over, last fall was still coming up over Lighthouse, which they're not supposed to be on, and they're not going slow a lot of the times. I tried to get a picture of them last fall, and they're going fast, I couldn't get it on my cell
Yeah.
phone. And there was 3 of them.
I had heard that from Jackie when she was still here, and we had reached out to the state police and the Fish and Game, and they were gonna try and address it, but,
Unless
Yeah,
they're
that's-
sitting there at different times, and these guys know when
right.
somebody's sitting there, I don't know what the solution is. Real good game cameras somewhere where they're getting some good pictures, I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of, and then they can find them.
Right, we
That's
can look
the
into
only
that.
thing I can think of, but I do know,
Alright.
you know, and it'll be
Yeah.
just about dark at night or after dark at night, 'cause I see them a lot when I was walking my dogs last fall, quite often that would be 9 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night. And they go, I could hear them coming way before they got there.
From-
And they'd go screaming down through.
Oh, yeah. Not part of the trail system,
I know,
or, and after they're,
but there's gotta be some
Time to
monitoring
get-
of some sort somehow. Somebody's gonna get hurt. It's the way they're going, somebody's gonna get hurt. Thought I'd mention that, throw it out there.
Yeah, I'd say we have the same problem with Snowmobile Club. There's always a few that make it bad for all the rest.
Exactly.
And most of the time,
Right, right,
they're not
right.
even members of the
no
club.
negative
Right.
part on that
Right,
ATV
probably
club,
not.
because if there
You
was no
guys probably
ATV
aren't
club,
either.
they'd still be doing the same thing.
Right.
Probably worse.
Probably not.
So no changes, thank you.
No changes from us.
So I guess we need a motion from somebody to grant them same permission they've had previous years.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second the motion.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. So you're all set? Thanks for coming in. You're welcome to stay if
I'm
you
gonna hang out for a little bit. It's been exciting so far.
I think you've seen the most exciting part, but I might be like. Okay, now it's time for the proposals for the forensic financial audit.
All right, we got 6 of them. Did you want me to open these
Yeah,
and
go
just
ahead.
give you a rundown? Okay.
Go ahead, read them if you want.
Read them?
Open them, read them.
Some of them are 41 pages though.
Well, no, just the,
This is the number.
how much it is for
Yeah, I
assessment.
got you, I got you. You're gonna learn my humor.
Get something right out, yeah.
All right, this proposal I have here
Hang on a second.
is, from Clifton Larson Allen LLP.
Who is this?
Clifton Larson Allen LLP. And their proposal includes a preliminary audit and a forensic audit. And they put their maximum amount billed cap at $205,000.
Yeah, we're too far out.
Which one?
Not very fair.
Preliminary?
For both together, they combined them. They
Or were they set, they broke them out, two different prices?
didn't break them out, they just gave you a maximum cost.
Well, they were supposed to do the first one and see if they thought we should go further, but how are we supposed to know how much you're supposed to pay?
Yep, I agree. Every one of these proposals, not a single one of them followed all the rules, they all just kind of did their own thing.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. This next firm is called PKF O'Connor Davies.
You had 2, yeah. Yeah. 2 in your,
What's that?
you had 2 in your hands.
Yeah. Oh, I'm nervous already. So they did not give an estimate for a forensic audit. They only gave an estimate for a preliminary audit, and they listed their maximum amount billed at $25,000. And they estimate that to take anywhere from 4 to 7 weeks of work. Then we have C. Lewis and Company. They did not actually give a rundown of, a maximum amount billed at all. They listed what each partner in their firm makes. and just gave just a broad estimate on time without explaining anywhere in here how many hours will be billed to which partner, because they all make different amounts. So I don't know if that's any use to us at all.
So just by the hour, basically.
Yep, by the hour, with an unknown amount of hours.
I think that's all you.
Some of them make $900 an hour.
I was gonna say, just out of curiosity, what do they make
Yeah,
now? $900 an hour.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I'm done by noon.
Uh,
1 hour a week.
This next firm is CBIZ, C-B-I-Z, Forensic Consulting Group. And they also did not give an estimate for either preliminary or forensic. They listed what each of their partners make on an hourly basis and estimated how many weeks they might.
Okay, well, at least they estimated weeks, so you can, a little bit of calculation, come up with an idea.
Yeah, so I did some rough calculations, and the preliminary is like 100,000. From what I could see, without knowing exactly how many hours go into each, it just kind of averaged their wages out. And the forensic one is somewhere in the neighborhood of 250,000. So if they had to do everything all told, you're somewhere around 350. Then we have Whipfly Advisory, WIPFLI. And then we gave an estimate for the preliminary findings, and they are estimating that at 17,500. They said they could get it done in 3 weeks.
What did you say, 3 weeks?
3 weeks. And then the last one we have is the Bonadio Group, B-O-N-A-D-I-O. And they gave us an estimate on the preliminary findings at 55K, 5 weeks of work. And then if they had to move to forensic, that would be 165K with an unknown amount of time, but that's what they would cap it at.
So 220,000
Yeah.
total.
How much was the forensic?
155, 65, I'm sorry, 165.
65 and 55. Well, looks like the minimum that could be done would be the preliminary audit, that's 17.5, right?
Yep.
And then it could go up to, we got two of them, one's at 220 for a full-blown forensic audit, along with you have to do preliminary first, and the other one was at 205.
Yeah, 205. I mean, that includes both, but. Because, yeah. Now, I don't know, if we say, can we pick, like, hey, we want to use Whipfly for the preliminary and then somebody else for the forensic, is that even an option?
I have no idea. I don't know if, I don't know if any of them.
I don't think it does
I don't
because
think
it's
they would allow
voters.
that.
Could you do it?
They'd wanna do their own preliminary, wouldn't they?
I would think so.
Yeah, because they're gonna get some information on the preliminary, and then they would use that information to
Exactly.
add to the full.
One thing people need to realize, that's just their cost. It's gonna take a tremendous amount of staff time over and above their what they normally do, and they're gonna need to be compensated for that. It's gonna be a lot of overtime hours to put the information they need together, gather the information they're gonna be requesting. So the 200 is
Even if they find something, it's not like they're getting it back, so you're,
we've had from a couple good source. One was accountant, accounting Bill Vacavoni for the town for at least half a dozen years, maybe more, till he retired. And he had him on speakerphone in a meeting that we had about it. And he said that the way our system is set up, the checks and balances and the fact that the town manager never handled any money except for the delinquent water, sewer, and the delinquent property taxes, which had already been accounted for in the system. And the treasurer has the control over that. So say if took some money that somebody paid, come in and paid cash or whatever, and didn't tell the treasurer, it wouldn't get accounted for, so the people would get a bill again, and be back in wondering why they still get the bill. So like he explained, it'd be awful hard. He said even with a forensic audit, you probably wouldn't catch it. You know, there's probably, could be only like a couple $100 here, a couple $100 there, but no major amount. You never catch that small of amount, because you just happen to luckily stumble onto it. But, and he said it's gonna be a lot of staff time and stuff involved. But I mean, there was a pretty good sized group of people in here prior that insisted that we take it before the voters. But the voters need to know if there's no sense spending the money on preliminary one and have them come back and say we should do a forensic one, then we gotta tell them it's good. You know, you're voting on $200,000+ plus staff time. You know, it could easily be $250,000 to pull this thing off and do it right. I'm comfortable enough between what Jen has told us and what Bill Iacovelli has told us that we could waste money on a lot better stuff than that. It'll have something to show for it when we're done. I mean, it's a crapshoot to find, if you find something. It's highly unlikely they will. If they do, it probably ain't gonna be much. Then like in our previous situation when we talked about doing it years ago, he said that if you do find something, then you gotta be able to collect it on top of that. So they don't guarantee that's gonna happen either. So I don't, I'll go either way. If everybody wants to put it before the voters, let them decide. I'm all fine with that, but I know.
I think that's what
If we're gonna make a decision as a board, I'm out. Steve?
If you did find something, what would be the options of collecting it if there's something missing? I'm thinking probably zip.
The option, so you'd have to, give it to the state police or county police or whatever, and they'd, charges would be filed.
But to actually getting the money back if there was some missing?
If there's none,
If you're gonna put
if they don't have any money to get,
$250,000 into a total, and then you find something missing, maybe not, hopefully not, but if you did find something missing, what's the chances of getting any of it back? Realistically.
that, if you spend $200,000, you find 5,000, that ain't very good math.
I can do math, and that's the math I'm coming up with. Unfortunately, and I hate saying that, but it's, you know what I mean? I don't like it, it leaves an awful bad taste in my mouth, but if it doesn't, like you say, it's no sense of spending $250,000 to make 5.
When we were going through it before, the state auditor's accounts advised us to correct our system, make sure it was, you know, we did things differently, so that couldn't happen, which we did, and move on, because he says, just like you just got done saying, you get it, still gotta be able to collect it, and is it gonna be more than what you spent trying to get it?
Yeah. And
he advised us to move on.
even if she had taken something, by the time Tunbridge gets done with her, there isn't gonna be anything left.
I don't know that.
Well, we don't know that.
Right,
but
I don't know that
chances-
either, but I believe that there's enough checks and balances, and that I personally feel that the money that's been here, we've got some good people in the office that know and can do it too, that I've got a pretty good feeling that we're in pretty good shape. There wasn't any voids or opportunities left for somebody to dig in and take something that didn't belong to them.
There's always a chance, but it's so minimal and so little money involved that
Exactly.
you're
Robbie?
not gonna get a payback.
I just think you guys are gonna have to put together a really detailed explanation like you're talking about now, you know, that everyone's had their own part in the movement of money, and there's really no way she could have got it. And, you know, and talking with like Jack Bunny or he would agree with you know, and this is what it would cost if we don't move forward. If we find anything, we're probably not gonna get it back. That is what voters need to hear.
I agree.
And I think that they probably would, and, you know, the cost of doing it and the time, I think they would probably agree with you guys, but if you don't say anything, then everybody thinks you're hiding something. So you just gotta be open and detailed explanation.
I agree wholeheartedly. I mean, if we do, we gotta list the costs, list the staff extra costs, and,
Yeah.
I have no idea what the likelihood of finding something is. I think it's very slim, but
Well, I mean,
that's just my opinion.
even if we spend $200,000 on an audit and say she took $100,000 and we got the $100,000 back, we're still out $200,000.
We got 100.
For 100.
Yeah, it's-
We're still down, you
And you
know,
would
and-
have to make it totally perfectly clear that it's gonna be generating your taxes, so people are already
See,
feeling
that's a
that
good
their
number to have to
taxes-
bring to the table too.
Right.
If this
that
goes
this
through,
is gonna be
this is how much
generating
more
your
it's gonna
taxes.
come out of our taxes.
Exactly.
Or our taxes are gonna go up.
Once I see the
And I
dollars.
see ours because I pay them too.
So that's-
Something you can
that's-
handle, Ryan?
We got two choices. We could put the question out there at our meeting, and the board could just decide not to do it at all. And if if townspeople feel as though they wanna do it, they'd have to get a petition up to force a vote. So it's totally up to the board.
Well,
I think,
I think what we did was, I mean, obviously there's fewer people here today. I mean, my goal is following the people, is that it was supposed to be pre-town meeting. I made the error 100% on how I worded it. We have these now. I think the goal tonight is just to put it on the ballot, which is gonna cost the town $0, because it's a ballot, and let the people decide.
Give them all the information. though.
Exactly, of
I
course.
think we should just mail, come up with this letter and just mail it to everybody. I know it's a small cost, but
I'm
I
fine
think
with
I
that.
agree we should just get this to all the townsfolk in a letter, here's all the information, here's what we found, here's the cost, this is how much it would increase taxes.
And that gives them the opportunity to come in for the town meeting or
So-
not, to
Yep.
voice their opinion, as
Good
well as
idea.
anybody else does.
You're saying not have a vote?
No, we still,
Have the vote, but
we still have it
yes.
at town meeting,
Have
information.
an
on the
educated
ballot, like you said.
conversation.
Okay, so
But-
you're saying, okay,
but
that's,
like, as soon as we can, send
That's
this
fine. I'm
letter
fine
out
with
to
that.
everybody,
Oh,
so
100%.
everybody's informed.
Put
That's
forth
right.
the information that we have
of course, yeah.
together before that.
Yeah, no, and
decision was made.
I think we had even discussed, like, if the town, because the town meeting's on a Tuesday, and not everyone can make a town meeting, and I know that's been a controversial thing in Vermont history in the many, very recent years, but we could have a special meeting on the Monday night before town meeting to discuss the issues that, because we cannot, legally correct, we cannot discuss what's on the ballots on town meeting day, I believe
I'm
that's.
saying
That
that
is
is,
not-
correct.
But we can discuss them the night previous, if anyone has questions?
If you have an informational meeting the night
Correct.
before, yeah.
So that's what I'm saying, we
I
could,
think we should do that anyway with,
Yeah, for
with that
anything.
road bond.
Yeah, that's
thing
fine.
coming up.
and I mean, that's, again, that's changing with time, right, you know? I was joking with Barb, when my parents moved into this town, there was no 433 in front of their number. You know, times have changed. And now we have to worry 7 digits.
so is that what we're all thinking, is send this letter out to the town and then do an informational meeting for the bond and for this?
Yeah,
and
or any of the vote,
Let's work
anything that's
on,
on the,
drafting the letter that we can review next select board meeting, and then we'll still have plenty of time to send it out at that time.
And that way everybody gets it prior to, they'll know when the meeting is, what it's about, and come in, get your information, and the next day everybody votes.
Makes sense.
So,
We could put the information on the letter, that way if they can't make a meeting, they at least have the information.
Right,
well, yes, both, I
yeah,
think both
yeah,
would be
but
good.
hey, we're having an informational meeting this day,
For a little more,
and
verbal
it'll be on the
explanation.
ballot at town meeting this day.
What about having that meeting a week before so that people could plan on whether or not they want to make it to town meeting if they didn't like something?
Yeah,
Give them a
it
week.
gotta be by Australian ballot, so they can still go and vote on it.
right,
yeah, this meeting would just be to discuss what's on Australian ballot, to give people more understanding what they're
that
actually
it'll be
voting.
fresh in their mind. to be honest, I think,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know. You'll have it in
More
front of
active.
you, it'll be mailed to you,
One way or the other.
then you can come sit with us and discuss it.
You could also include this road project too and send it out early too. To get an increase of what the taxes are gonna be on that too.
That's a good.
That's a good
Have a
idea
double
too.
whammy, yeah.
Yeah. No, my previous employer, fire department needed fire trucks, and that's what they did. They sent out pictures of the axles, of the brakes,
Yeah.
like everything that was rusting on a fire truck, and it passed. And you're talking $500,000 to $1 million of fire trucks.
Yeah, that's a good thought.
Not this community, that was a different community, but people don't understand necessarily.
Right, they need the information.
Correct.
So
So,
we just, things get drafted up. I mean, we know we have that price for 17.5 to do a preliminary audit. That really isn't, I mean, we gotta make sure that people are aware that if they do that preliminary audit and suggest that we do the forensic, they're gonna be prepared to spend about $200,000. Otherwise, we're just wasting money on that preliminary thing for nothing if we're not gonna go. But the total package is 200 plus.
Yep.
So, plus the staff time and, I don't know.
so did that
Could
W,
put at least another 50 grand in to cover your times that you're gonna have to help these people, I would guess.
in that 17.5 was just a preliminary, they didn't give any price?
No, they only gave an estimate for preliminary.
And then you said Clifton was a full of just 205 but no preliminary understand,
But
like,
they didn't break it out into separate costs.
this is the hard thing when you put out requests for proposals, hopefully
Yeah, the
everyone
one was-
follows.
It was broke out 55 and 165, so that's 220, so.
That's for,
Yeah, that was that last
On
one.
the
That
video.
last one was really the only one who followed our instructions halfway decently.
yeah.
They're also the most expensive. So.
I'm guessing that other one for 200 is probably close to the same breakout.
You
So,
had to have one for 210,000 for both.
220?
210, first one.
Yeah, I got 205.
205.
205?
205 is
Okay,
first
sorry
one,
about that.
220 on second one.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, probably on the letter, probably should just plan on 250,000 between this and
Staff.
Right,
staff hours.
Yeah, you're talking 300,000.
at least 250, I'd say.
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure, if I'm mistaken, we have to make, I mean, I brought the page to put the motion down for the ballot, because that has to be done tonight, correct? Because pretty much by the end of the month, the town books, or we're gonna have to have another special meeting.
You have to have your warning in place here probably by the end of the month.
Yeah.
Then the town report's which.
We would have a meeting on the 19th to talk about the audit with the auditors. If we could get something put together for that, we could do it then. Make that happen, right?
Yep.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
That'll be soon enough, won't it?
What time was that meeting on the 19th?
I'll make it for 7, that worked.
I think
I think we had it for 7, was it, Jen?
It was 7 o'clock.
Seven, yeah.
Yeah.
19th at 7 o'clock at the town hall.
Somebody wanna please send me an email or a reminder?
Last year, you signed your warning, it was January 13th last year, so you're in the same ballpark.
Yeah.
19th, 7 o'clock. Town hall. And you get it all set with the auditors to do the phone conference?
I think Cody's working with it, right?
What's that?
You're working with the auditor to set it up?
To do the, I haven't gotten their information.
Oh, I had sent it in that email that I sent to us.
I will get on that.
Alright, so on the agenda next week is to figure out what's to go on the ballot for, yes, okay.
The article.
Make the article for the vote on how the voters can choose to do an audit or not.
We'll do that, and then once we get into the next thing for the road bond, we'll put that on the discuss that, finalize that the 19th,
Yep.
and they'll be ready to go. That's if you choose to go that route.
Right. And I'll just throw it out there, because I know people were here last, but how I had it written down, I'll just repeat it, is shall the town of Williamstown perform it might just be a preliminary audit assessment by blank company, we haven't picked the company yet, not to exceed blank dollars from August 1st, 2011 to December 31st, 2025, Jacqueline Higgins, town manager tenure, so that's probably what's gonna be roughly on the ballot. Anyone question on that? I just wanna make sure we're doing it right.
You really wouldn't want to put Jacqueline.
Okay. We can, want me to erase Jacqueline Higgins from the, just put those dates?
Maybe.
Yeah, definitely.
I know it makes much difference, everybody knows what you're talking about.
What?
I know it makes much difference, everybody knows what you're talking
Okay,
about.
alright.
That's up to you.
No, it doesn't matter. It's up to us. We're the,
I would, yeah.
okay, I took my semicolon and put it here.
There you go.
Okay, we all set with that? Yes, so that, okay, we're going on to old business, is Tiffany Slido here?
Are we
Yeah.
skipping the budget?
Yeah, I know, but I just want to get her up front so she
Oh,
doesn't have to go through all
Yeah,
that.
gotcha.
Is she here?
Oh, there.
Want to show again?
I didn't.
She
Oh,
didn't show up last time, so she didn't show up again this
For
time.
Heber Road, it was mentioned last meeting about the Heber Road not being
No, she's not here.
So we just
maintained.
cross that off the list. Okay, now we'll go on to finalizing the 26-27 budget. There was copies of it on the table back, the back of the room, if anybody doesn't have them.
I didn't bring my computer.
I don't have what was in my packet, I didn't bring it either.
Yeah, I brought the emails over. She said it does. Good luck for changes there.
Under this one? So, I'll get up and get a copy, cause I didn't bring mine. I brought one in the envelope.
I don't see anything here for White House Hill Road, and we've been talking about that at least every other month all summer last year. Is it on the next page?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, we're on the budget first.
I'm gonna have to share.
That's part of this road, and that's
Anybody need another whole
that's
set?
gonna make a difference on your budget.
I think everybody's set.
We requested a long time.
Didn't bring my computer, that's the problem.
No, just before that, where that bill is done,
Do you want a copy, sir?
Okay, we had a previous budget meeting, I can't remember what date it was, but a couple weeks ago anyway. And, we went through both the general fund budget and the highway fund budget, and we'll start off with the general fund budget. And during that meeting, we changed, some items on it. Fire squad income was changed to fast squad income. Wages for staff assistant changed to administrative assistant. Staff town clerk changed to assistant town clerk. Appropriations not changed, it is already the same, so the numbers didn't change, it was just the wording of the names. The wages custodial budget took 1,000 out. Of the 4,500 budget towards assistant town clerk budget, put that towards this town clerk budget. And then, Barb and I reviewed the dollar raise amount budget for the hours, and adjusted that for the assistant town clerk, I believe it was, yeah. And then, custodial for the 2 hours a week, $30 budget for the, come to $3,120. And childcare contributions. Childcare contributions under animal control.
Yeah, no, that, so the issue, what he's saying, there was a typo.
Right.
It was, because every employee has to have childcare contributions, that's a state thing. It was originally at $440. Everyone else's was $44. They just put the decimal in the wrong spot. So that got changed, so it's $44, not $440.
Then put the extra $396 into the town report printing. Custodial budget changed from $54.60 to $46.80. Put the $780 extra into town report printing. Budget balance is still the same at $1,833,000, $133,295.07. So that's what we changed from the previous one, and it's reflected as the revised one everybody has now. So how much was remember what the tax increase was for the general?
5.23%,
5.2.
in my math. Sorry, I forgot my computer, but we have
It's
phones
not
now,
written
so-
on here, that's why. Okay, yeah, I think it was about,
Yeah, so, I
so
don't know if
that's
the camera
where,
can see it, but I did something in basically Google Docs or Google Excel or Sheets, whatever we call it. And the increase this year is 5.23% from last budget.
so we're hoping that works. We read the newspaper, everybody's trying to get under double digits. Rodney?
So, on page 3, listers, not the town voted to get rid of those.
What'd you say?
Under listers?
Say the town voted to get rid of the listers last year.
Right.
Yes.
Why don't the listers?
So it
First
should
question.
be titled assessors instead, right?
Well, I guess, no, that's a good question, because we hired
A consulting firm.
a consulting firm to do it, so so maybe those words need to be changed?
Yeah.
Because basically it's a contract, is that how?
I would think, yeah.
Now, May, you know more about that, you work with her, right?
She's contracted,
Right.
but,
Is some of the former listers helping her with some of that?
that's through the reappraisal.
Okay.
So that's through the reappraisal. However, part of my paycheck gets paid through that firm.
Okay, that could be what it is. It's part of May's
Are
salary.
you the admin assistant? Is that, okay.
That's my second question. You got administrative assistant for 26,000 under listers.
Yeah.
And 26,000 under town manager.
Because
The
I'm,
assistant gets $52,000.
Must be.
How much you make?
it's 24 and then next year it's 25.
So. Yeah, staff assistant, 24,960. Oh wait, this show's going up to 26. Well, yeah. Manager's office. Where's the source? Yeah. What is that correct? It shows it's going up to 26.
24,960.
I make 24 now, so I'll be making 25. And then, so come July,
You gotta speak up so everybody can hear. So your
So
salary
that's-
is paid, you're partially paid by the
It's,
town managers,
yep, so it's 20 and 20,
partially paid to help the
Yeah.
listers.
yeah.
Or-
So it's 20 and 20 to make my 40 hours a week. Yep,
So her hours are split. She works part-time for town manager, part-time for listers. That's why it's split on that.
Yeah.
And then it's just the numbers, is that?
Yeah, it comes out to 46,758 for her time.
My math, 26,000 and 26,000, 2,000.
Maybe, she put in extra for lister time or stuff that they're doing. I didn't set that.
Are you looking at the increase from 24,960 to 26,000? Rodney, that's the difference? What's for 27? Right there across from admin's assistant. And 3, right, listers, admin's assistant. This year, 24,960. Directly across from for 27. Right there, right there. And it's the same way it's printed on the next one.
So that's about right, because I got $1 an hour raise.
I was gonna say that every employee in Williamstown got $1 per hour raise.
So, and that's already included well, added into the budget to cover the wages.
I would assume.
Right,
Right.
that's what we agreed upon last meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that covers, that's what that is.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I thought.
And that's why, I'm just looking at the email here,
Yeah.
for
that's right.
the, the assistant town clerk was not given an initial bump at all from last year's budget to this year's budget. That was the only position within the town that got 0. And that was brought up, and then we found some areas that, you know, and this, I'm just reading the email, but the things that we had found in this email just came back to, from the treasurer saying this is how everything got fixed in the budget. But like Larry was saying, like the custodial, that's a huge one. Like, it was $1,000 more than it, like, that was a crazy number. So we moved that $1,000 to a different position. Like one example, like that was partially wages, the other part was making sure everyone can get a town book.
Yeah.
Because printing has gone through the roof with, so, as far as I know, correct, everyone's getting a book this year?
Well, we're hoping,
Yeah.
I haven't quite heard Stillwater yet, I guess,
But the goal,
yeah.
yeah, the goal is that every taxpayer or voter in Williamstown is getting a book, so that we adjusted those numbers around to not raise the budget, but make sure everyone actually gets their town book.
And we had to add in for the Granville section.
Yeah, that's,
Granville and Northfield,
Yep, that's right, Northfield too.
there's not that many in Northfield, but there's like 100 and something out of Graniteville.
Well, last year we got back more from the post office than we sent out, so.
So, the one thing I will ask though, because again, we can change names now, it seems like it's easier. The wages assessor, is that just the contract cost for the actual assessor's firm, the 22,000?
That's Kathy's.
Yeah, because I was going to say,
That's Kathy's.
that's Kathy, that's Kathy.
So
That's
that's, so,
That's our actual
And that would.
assessor.
oh, we haven't, she works for the town of Williamstown?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
okay,
Okay.
She's contracted,
okay,
so, yeah.
Well,
okay.
it's just a type.
That don't include doing a townwide reappraisal, right?
No, the townwide reappraisal is a different fund, correct? Yeah.
She's doing a reappraisal through her company, but she still does the work that the listers used to do on a regular basis, right?
Just do it with Terry Knight then.
Right. So it's two different years. So, somebody wanna, any other questions on this or discussion on it? Somebody wanna make approval to approve the general fund budget?
I guess now that it's just ringing a bell, I know we have listers just as a title, but since we did do away with listers, I might confuse some people, like I think it's Rodney's got questions, so it's like maybe we should change it from listers to assessors.
Assessors.
Assessors
To
office.
assessors or anything probably but listers, since we voted to.
No, that makes sense.
You know what I'm saying, it would.
Town assessor.
Yeah.
Alright, fair enough, I like that, town assessors.
So, yeah, so that changes, so 001-705 goes from listers to assessors.
And that should change in the revenue as well.
Does Nemrick let us change account names like that, or do we have to contact them? Can we edit our own account names? Probably not.
Contact them.
Yeah, we have to ask permission for everything from them.
Anybody else have anything? So we need a motion with that change, listed to assessor.
I make the motion to, change the wording and name from town lister to town assessors.
Right, we already agreed to that, but we'll make a motion to approve the budget,
Oh,
Budget.
so approve it, other
With
than
that
that,
change.
yes. I make the motion to approve, other than the initial changes.
for a second.
I second it.
Motion made, second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Right? Opposed? Okay. Okay, on the highway, we didn't make any changes on the highway. But I'm gonna suggest a change. Gotta get the cart before the horse, but the roadway bond, it's in this budget to cover that. On page 2. I had a meeting with a road foreman earlier last week. And he was telling about how much more it's costing to get a dump truck set up with the plows and wings and sanders and all that stuff than what it used to be. And I can attest to that. We bought a new trailer for dump truck this fall, and we bought the exact same truck 5 years ago, and it cost us just about exactly $100,000 more for that same exact truck, same spec engine, same rear end, same everything. So, we had 100, if you look at when you get into it, you'll see it when you get into the road rehab project. The interest payments, annual interest payments vary because of as you reduce the principal, the interest payments go down to almost nothing towards the end. But the average of it is like $14,000 a year, just a little bit over that. And there may be some closing costs associated with it, I don't know yet, we haven't got to that nitty-gritties of it. So I would think I would propose that we would take 10,000 off that, road rehab bond payment, drop that to 115,000, and then move that 10,000 into the equipment reserve account, bump that up to 170,000 from 160 to 170. Just, we bumped it up 20,000, but that doesn't even come close to covering the cost. So that, just my thoughts.
So the road.
We either that or take it out altogether, but that's a place that could be used to use more money, I think.
Did the highway one get put in
I'm gonna say, I'm looking at this one that we
Did the
pulled off
highway
that
one
table,
get put in with
we
the
don't
ones
have
back
any of
there?
those numbers
No.
plugged in.
So you're saying road rehab reserve fund go from 150 to something, or road rehab
It
bond?
went from 140 to 160, but I think if we took that 10,000 off the road rehab, moved that up to there, it'd be 170. We don't change the bottom line, but it would put more funds into the equipment reserve, okay?
So which one are we moving from again? Sorry, say that one first, I'm trying to find it.
We're down on about halfway down the page, says highway equipment. Just below that, it says highway reserve account.
Yep,
Way over to the right, it's 160,000.
correct.
The very one below that, not the one just below it, but the bottom before you come to the line where the road rehab is at 125. Change that number to 115 and move that 10,000 to the highway reserve,
For the
equipment
equipment
reserve,
department, so make that 165,
170.
175, you mean? Or you said 10, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless somebody else has a better place for it, or take it out altogether, but that would leave the bottom line the same, and this is, stuff just costing, I don't see it going down much.
So my question is that you're taking $10,000 off the bond and adding it to?
Yeah, well, they had, the first number on the bond, the first year is like 122,000 something.
Yeah.
It's on the other, and then you see it stays about the same for 2 or 3 years.
Right,
Then it starts dropping real fast as you get down, so, but if you took it to total, you go on that page here, item from the bond bank,
yeah,
you look at the far right side, total amount of interest is $140,215. And you divide that over 10 years, it's like 14, here over 14,000 a year. So, but there may be some closing costs associated with this that we don't know about
right.
yet. So I leave that at 115,000 and then move 10,000 of that up into the equipment reserve.
Okay, and so you're gonna change the bond amount by that 10,000 down?
Right, move that from 125 to 115.
Okay.
So 615 is still the total.
Yeah.
Basically, we did a general fund, just,
Yeah.
there's more of it. Anybody else have any other comments or changes? With that, could I have a motion on the highway budget as amended?
I'll make a motion as amended to move the 10,000 from the bond payment up to the equipment reserve. And everything else as is.
Everything else same?
I'll second that.
Motion made and seconded. Any other discussion?
Just so everyone knows, again, the math, it's a 6.81% increase from last year's.
That does include the proposed bond thing. If that doesn't get voted through, then, I don't know, the taxes
That
get
comes out.
reduced. Anyway, okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Okay, next item is the road rehab bond discussion, bond vote discussion. Everyone got one of these? The reason for this discussion is, everybody wants the roads graded, smooth and nice as they can be. But the bottom line is, the roads listed on here, many areas of it has nothing, there's nothing left to grade, all the surface gravel's gone. We're down into the cobbles and the subgrade ledge and roots. And it's near impossible for the road crew to do much with it. our road crew or anybody else's road crew, because nothing to work with, basically, and, we've been putting, I believe it's like 100 and, I think it's, I don't have it right to say here somewhere, but we put about roughly 170,000, 60,000 into the highway road budget every year to do that. It's the way it's worked, and, but it just, we're never gonna catch up, we just can't catch up with that amount of money. And so we came up with this idea. I had the town manager and the road foreman, the previous town manager and road foreman go through and pick out the roads that were in worse shape and needed attention the most. And we've done previous roads, we did South Hill, Hebert Road, and there's the other, we did 3 of them, was it? Stone Road, I think was one. We picked out 5 roads anyway. Baptist Street was the one remaining road that hadn't got done. So that's on here.
Gilbert Road too.
We did a section of Martin Road on the bottom of it, and this is the continuation where we left off to the intersection of Baptist Street. Ontario Hill was done a few years ago because where the flood and stuff got washed out a lot, so it pretty much rebuilt. Up in the area of the Tower Road up above that, little or nothing's been done over there for years. So that's the full length of Tower Road from McCarthy Road all the way to Grandview Road. I guess Washington Road, Grandview Road intersection is from there back to McCarthy Road. Flint Road, it's been spotty here and there, it's been patched. And so that's from the, it was rebuilt from the intersection, four-way intersection between the schools up to about where, can't think of his first name, but Peter Gilbert's son's house, the first house on the left there.
David Gilbert?
Yeah, and so from there, it'd be from there to the end of Flint Road up by Tim Porter's, right to the end. Baptist Street is full length from Graniteville Road to the Chelsea Road. Chelsea Road is from approximately Stella Road, where it's gravel, to the town line. And South Hill Road is from intersection of Graham Road to the town line.
Sweet.
Tower Road I told you about. There's a section that we originally had 16 miles roughly, but we felt that we may have enough left over to do Furno and Cold Springs. George Road is very narrow and very little gravel. The narrow part it got widened, and the widened part is about 5 feet, and it's got good gravel, but the old part of the road's got nothing. And so that takes care of all of George Road from the farm, Coolidge Farm, down to the Flint Road intersection. This was all figured, we had, back before we did South Hill and the other roads, we had a engineering firm come in and actually dug holes in the roads, foot deep, to see what material was there and what material should be used to build the road up, so we take the weight and, for mud season or whatever, and wear and tear. And he came up with using 9 inches of 1.25 crushed granite material to build the road, to raise the road out on everywheres. And so far, it's proved to work out well. We haven't had issues in mud season like we used to have on all these roads. It seems to be the granite. We had material tested at 4 different quarries, and the granite far out excelled the other materials because of the granite's hardness. The wear test on it was way above the crushed ledge type material. And I don't know if you noticed the crushed ledge stuff. We have issues with tires being cut because it's kind of like arrowhead thin. And then it breaks down over time you know, rain, extended rainy period, it turns like slime. And you don't get that with the granite. And it's just, the granite just stands up so much better, so it's a little more money, but I think it's money well spent. So that was his recommendation. It seemed to work good. We done some under drain work this past year on a couple areas that we knew were real bad. We still need to do some on Flint Road before that road has this overlay put on it, just to make sure that we got the water gone from underneath the road where we can. We have enough in that other amount that we left that in. This road thing is just on top of that. So any areas that, like you're saying, like Lighthouse Hill and other roads like that, I guarantee it won't happen this year because they're gonna be flat out for 2 months on this.
We kept hearing all last summer it was gonna be done, and I guess somebody's
Yeah,
lying
I
to me
could,
because it wasn't done, it wasn't touched. It's been looked at 2 or 3 times that I know of, at least twice, and I think a third time. And right above David Taylor's, the ledge is sticking right out of the road. And right below David Taylor's, the road's continually washing out. If you don't do something with that pretty quick, you're gonna have to build a whole road from there down to the corner of South Hill.
Okay, I understand, I've heard it before.
Yeah, I know you have,
I
and
understand.
I don't even see it on
No,
here.
I'm not
All
telling
it
you.
needs is a little bit of work, and it doesn't need the whole thing done.
It'll get to it eventually, but we need to take care of these roads that are the most traveled roads.
I
And
understand,
you'll
you
have-
have some that have traveled a lot more, yeah.
It's gonna be, just appreciate what you got before you get to that road you live on. It'll be all nice. Well, anyway. we need
You
to-
should have been a politician, Larry. You be running for president next year?
No.
I'm surprised.
When this term is over, that's it, I'm out of it.
You've said that before.
Yeah, you heard that before too?
We can count on it this time. Anyway.
Like I said, you should run.
No, I understand, I'm just saying that we did, that other line item is still in there that we used to have, or still have. That's to take care of other roads other than these in between, but I just wanna be honest with everybody. This deal is gonna take at least 2 months of the town. If we put it out, the bid to contract it out, it's gonna cost another $500,000 on top of this, to hire someone to come do it all. There's no way we're gonna do it. Down 10-wheelers and hire a couple dump trucks to work with them, town grader, rent another grader if we need to. And the town crew's gonna be doing the work, so they're gonna be on this deal for a couple months. It's the only way you can keep it into $1 million and get this much stuff done.
Can you at least do some grading work on it, which was supposed to have been done last year?
What's that?
Maybe run a grader up and down it a couple times, which we were supposed to do last year?
It will be graded and compacted before this material goes on, the first step. Ditches will be taken care of. So I'm just telling,
Lighthouse Hill.
Yeah, I'm talking Lighthouse Hill. Maybe if you run a grader up in there, or a contractor with a set of 2-bottom plows or something.
I mean, if you're gonna have the graders up there anyway.
Yeah.
I wouldn't make a very good politician because I'm telling you the truth. It's in all likelihood, you're probably not gonna see much work done at Lighthouse Hill.
You're telling me the truth this time, what were you telling me all last summer?
What's that?
What were you telling me all last summer when you kept telling me it was gonna get done?
Well, I thought
If
it
you're
had,
telling me
I
the
thought it
truth
had
now.
done, to be honest with you, I thought it had got done, but you didn't say nothing for a couple months.
No, I was giving you a little bit of time, because you said
That's
you needed
because all
time.
the berms were taken off the side of South Hill and put back in,
Yeah,
it kept
that's
the
right.
water good. That kept Steve happy for
Yeah,
a little
We'll
while.
be taking some more pictures of that too.
Hey, it's all there, it was done.
At least I'm honest.
I'm waiting to see your petition for president.
Anyway. The situation being, we figured it out, we talked it over with the road foreman and the manager, and that we're spending roughly $30,000 a year every spring dumping material in mud holes.
Yeah.
And that's coming out of the road rehab money that we could use into fixing roads and doing stuff. This deal here, the need for the gravel on these roads we have listed is not gonna go away. It's just gonna get worse. So the principal amount of this stuff you're gonna spend at some point, no matter what. And at the rate, with the little bit we're putting in there, we're never gonna catch up. We can never, ever catch up at that rate. I mean, if you wanna raise the highway budget up, $250,000, $500,000 every year, yeah, we'll catch up after a couple of years, but if we do it this way, we can get it caught up, and we ain't gonna be wasting money on mud holes, because they'll be dealt with on all these roads. So we could cut that in half probably, and there's your interest payment on this. If you save 15,000 on the mud holes, you've made the interest payment on this loan and get this thing done, and get ahead of the curve. So I mean,
I understand that part of it.
it's, I don't know if any other towns have done it or not. It's like a bold move, but if you look at it close and study it and know what the needs are, it's the only way we're gonna get ahead in a reasonable way. And, let me get on to my stuff here. If you look on page 3 on this. Actually, we'll go to page 2 first. That tells you what the materials are gonna cost, roughly $23,000, okay? And we put a month and a half in for grader rental, 2 months for roller, 80,000 in for, hiring extra trucks to help haul the stuff. And they're gonna come with liquid chloride as we get a road section like we get Baptist Street done. Instead of them hauling over and dumping in their tanks, they'll put it right on the road, get it all rolled right in, direct from the truck. And then, our road foreman was gonna be here tonight, but he got sick today and had to go home, so that's why he's not here. But anyway, there's a few culverts need to be put in, so we get some money in for that. And we're gonna need, some labor, some areas that may be tight, some intersections we may need to have flaggers, or someone to run the roller,
Truck drivers.
different things, staking out, put some grades on and stuff, so we get some money in for that. So the whole deal is just under $1 million. So you go over onto page 3. This is from the Vermont Bond Bank. We've checked with a couple banks. And the Vermont Bond Bank are the cheapest rate at 2.9%. This was before the interest rate recently went down, so it might possibly go less than that by the time we get to do it, I don't know. This was back, I don't know, 6 months ago probably, that one. And I know there's interest rate down at least 1/4 point since then, so, but I don't know if it'll affect that or not. But anyways, 2.9%. You see, you go over the middle of the page, says the principal's $1 million. It's over a 10-year period. Total interest is $140,215. Divide that over a 10-year period, it's like it's here over $14,000 a year. The total of the combined is loan total is $1,140,215. Then you go over to the schedule, debt service schedule. It shows $100,000 being paid for 10 years. And then you see, like I was telling about, the first few years is 22, 24, 21, then it starts dropping right down to almost nothing. But still the average is it's 140,000 total interest divided by 10, so average is about 14,000, just below 14. That's why we originally had it at 125 when this was first made up. But then, looking through the whole thing, it's going to be a little short the first couple of 3 years, but then it's going to be a lot less. So it'll catch up itself, it'll work out. So this is the 115 more accurately reflects what this would have cost over the 10 years period. And then on the last page, Jen had figured it out based on 122,000 payment. If you drop it down so it's 115,000 or 114 or 15,000, that'll reduce it another 7%. So based on that, person's home that was valuation at 100,000 at the 125 would have been $32 a year increase, but that'll actually go down to about $30 now with a reduction down to $115. And if your home is valued in the $250,000 range, it's gonna end up being about $75 a year extra. So, I mean, nobody wants to see the taxes go up. I mean, this, other than people live on the paved roads, these roads are spread out all around town, and it's gonna benefit most everyone in some way or another who has to travel through them. I leave your road out?
No, I won't forget the road
Okay.
fixed. I just had some questions. Has anybody put in for the rental grader? Because
Yep.
there have been a few years that we've had a hard time getting that
Page 2.
in the past. No, I mean like,
Actually
has
operating
they
it?
reserved the rental grader
Like, did we
already?
reach out to
Or,
already-
you know, reached out to who
put it on
you
the
rent it
schedule?
from to make sure
Well,
that it's.
first the people gotta approve this. Once this is,
Right, but I'm
What's
saying
this?
that's like a
once it's approved, we'll be on it.
ahead of time thing. Do we have two people that know how to run a grader?
Well, we're working on Jim Miller to come back and help us out with this project.
I was gonna say, cause Jim retired and I know Justin's the only other one that has run the grader.
Jim
so-
has indicated he probably would, so.
Okay,
He didn't say he would for sure, but
okay.
if this gets approved, we're gonna have to get our ducks in a row and ready to
I mean,
go.
personally, I think they should all learn how to do everything, but,
Thank you.
well, cause then if somebody's sick, then somebody else can,
Well, I can tell you from experience, there's people that have a knack for doing that type of thing, and there's people
right, but
you can do it for 20 years and still not get any better after they were the first year, so.
maybe it's the farmer in me that I have to learn to do everything, cause there's not always somebody to do it for me.
Well, if that bond passes, we'll get you right in grader school, get you right on.
That's
So much
yeah. I don't think they're catching too many grays out in the field.
You'd be surprised, but.
Hey, I farm too, and I was like, okay, there's a little bit of difference, but anyway.
You can practice on the road before we put the gravel on and
There
get
you go.
figured out. Anyway, I think we get the bases covered. I went out to actually check these numbers of the mileage with my truck, and I drove every road from intersection to intersection, and these are accurate numbers. So, they took them off the highway map, which should have been, but we had a situation last summer that things got messed up because it was done in yards instead of feet.
Yards, feet and yards.
So I did, that ain't gonna happen again, so I wanted to make sure that we get it right. And these are very accurate, right down to the, so. If my Dodge odometer is reading right.
Well, I hope so, it's brand new.
Well, it ain't brand new, but it
Close.
should work. So I don't know, unless I've asked several times, anybody had any better ideas to bring them forward? I haven't heard any yet. So hopefully you can pull it off. Anybody got any comments or questions? Mike?
So if you don't need the second grader or can't get it, will that lower the cost?
What's that?
If you can't get the second grader,
Oh, we'll get one.
or if you don't
If we
need it, I
need-
know that's a big project.
If we need one, we'll get one, I guarantee it.
Okay, I just, if we don't need one, does that lower the cost of?
Yeah, I mean,
Well, it probably lowered the cost of the grader rental, but it's gonna increase the wages and the time that our town crew is gonna do it with one
Absolutely.
grader. So it probably costs more.
Yep, no, I didn't know if we couldn't get that, would that come out of the loan and be added where it needed to
the
be?
loan is gonna be, once we set that loan in place, it's fixed.
Yep,
It's no changing it, no lower it, no raising it, it's fixed.
Yep.
So, what we're, like, some of the areas, this is based on graveling 24 feet wide, 9 inches thick,
yep,
on all these roads. I know for sure that some roads like Tower Road, we're probably gonna be closer to 20, because they just ain't width enough.
Same with
So-
Martin Road.
Yeah, so, we're hoping, that's why I said we may be able to get these other two roads, Cold Springs and Furnace in, maybe we could even get Lighthouse Hill if we have enough stuff, say it. Don't hold your breath, don't hold your breath.
I wouldn't get so wound up, except for I've been told all, since last spring, what was gonna happen, and it never happened. And I happen to know your road foreman was up there with the prior town manager, and then 2 weeks later, I met him on there and I mentioned it down here, and she said he was out checking Lighthouse Hill Road to see what they had to do to it, and I called her on it, I says, he was up there with you 2 weeks ago, and it was a real hot day that came down here. I said, he's out there riding around in the air-conditioned truck, and don't try to tell me different, 'cause I know better, and so do you. Because that's what was going on, he was there 2 weeks ago, and it didn't get any better in them 2 weeks.
Okay,
And that really burnt me. And then, that was, what, towards August, September? And still nothing happened. So, and not even a grader road.
I didn't
That's
mean-
what really wound me up.
I didn't mean to wind you up.
No, I'm just telling you what wound me up.
Okay.
And then I keep hearing about how it's gonna get done.
I just saying if it's extra, it's gonna go, we're gonna continue to get as much as we can get done.
I think that's what Mike was trying to say, if, you know, we get the bond, it is what it is, but say we have money left over, can we just use that towards?
We're gonna keep doing as many roads as we can do with it.
That's-
We're making a deal to buy X amount of yards of material.
Yep.
I mean, if we don't get it all done, it ain't gonna spoil this year. But
I just wanted to make sure that-
we're gonna make a deal, the best deal we can make to buy 50,000 yards,
Yep.
basically, 49,000 yards of materials.
Makes sense.
In the meantime, all of you prepare for the bitching from everybody else about how their roads aren't getting done while the road crew's doing them.
That's why I've been
Jasmine, it wouldn't be
emphasizing.
any different than any other month.
I know, I've been there.
Just
Well,
pretend
I'm
it's
not
another
sure
flood
about
year.
nothing, I know.
when it gets done. But anyway,
Yes, you were here.
we, I mean, it's a bad thing to say, and I probably shouldn't say it, I just hope people don't take it wrong, but those floods that we had, we would never got those roads fixed up and those size culverts put in for the next probably 25 years. It just,
That was
we,
catastrophic.
we come out of that on the right side of it, I'll tell you right now.
Those upgrades would have never have been done if it weren't for the floods.
It'd take an awful storm now to really get us in a bad spot like we were in. The culverts went from being 4 foot around to 13 foot wide at the bottom and 8-9 feet high arch culverts. You could flush a whole tree down through it. Hell, that was what problems for, stumps and trees and stuff that plugged the end of it up, and then it just blow out the roads and go over. So
I walked down it.
all the worst spots, there's only one left for sure that I know of, it's on Beatty Mountain Road there, and they're working to try to get a grant to do that. And we're in pretty good shape, I mean, we can take a pretty good hit. So, but we, like I say, if it had been for the, like $2.5 million in FEMA funds and stuff, we would never pull that off in probably in my lifetime. So anyway, if we could get this done, the town's gonna be in pretty good shape, I think, for a few years to come.
And we're gonna add this information to that letter, right?
Yeah, we get that letter prepared for this, and get the letter prepared for the forensic thing, and we'll finalize that on the 19th.
Okay.
And it'll be set for the printers and the town
Yeah,
report.
I got some questions for you afterwards regarding the town report like that.
You plan to come to the 19th meeting?
Yes.
So you can help us make sure we get it worded right and stuff?
Yeah, May and I are gonna go over things, but I also have a few questions, so, but
We
it's
got
not.
between you and Ryan and May, Jen,
Yeah, well,
we'll all have a nice
it's gonna be a team effort.
little letter all set for us to
So
approve.
we apologize now if the report isn't as what it's been like, but we're just rolling with the flow and learning and getting it out in the timely manner that it needs to be out, but don't take away our birthday if it's not.
It's gonna be great, Barb, it's gonna be great.
It's going to be.
It'll be fun. Mike?
The only other thing I have, and it's not really do with the road rehab, but I believe it was last summer you guys ditched Gilbert and Erskine Road. And whoever was doing the ditching on Erskine Road right across from the Jarvis Farm stopped the ditch. There's no culvert there, but the ditch is like probably 3 feet deep. And it runs out into the road when it fills up because it's got nowhere to go. And then it runs down the edge of the road. I didn't know if that was something that you guys could take a look at and
There's
see.
man right there.
Alright, I mean, it hasn't been a huge problem, it does wash out a little bit, but if we get.
I know some of that stuff was, on our side road and stuff was subbed out during the flood work.
Okay.
I don't know
That was
if that was
something
part the
else.
town did or if that
I
was.
was gonna say, I think that was Avery or some, or not Avery, Ward's.
Ward, I think
that.
it was Tim Ward that was working on
But
that area.
they literally dug a hole at Desert Road driveway, actually, and that's just what they left was a hole, and,
I don't know the situation, it may be what he was told to do, it may not be, I don't know.
yep,
So,
yeah, I just figured I'd bring it to your guys'
if
attention.
you, talk with the town manager about it, he'll work with the road foreman on it and
Okay,
see if we can get it fixed up.
that works.
Right, Steve, that's how it works.
I'm going again. Somebody will come up with a story. We'll leave it at that. All I'm going by is past experience.
Okay,
And I got a pretty good memory.
okay, so I guess we're good with that, everybody's good, on board with this road rehab thing?
Yes.
We're gonna work on the letters and we'll finalize it next meeting. This next item is around the table. Tyler, do you have anything?
Nothing for me.
Scott?
All set.
Clayton?
I'm good.
Cody? I wanna, first of all, thank Barb and Jen and May, and even the former manager. Every one of them did what they said they were gonna do, and help through this transition period. The first couple of weeks was the worst with taxes and all that going on. The office was a complete zoo and everything was turned upside down and we got through it and everybody worked, helped each other and they were big help in me, helping to try to keep things right side up and the select board, everybody all worked together in certain things and Cody got things straightened out with the IT part of it, and it was a tough time for the first 2 weeks, but then it smoothed out, and things are going pretty good. Now we have Ryan, I'm tickled pink to have someone take over my
Yes.
job, I was stuck with it for a while.
I'll second the tickle pink part, because if that weren't just a name or a face that just got thrown in a seat, there was a lot of process that go into
We took it,
getting the right person in the job.
I
Thank
took,
you.
it took around all corners of the town so we had some idea, somebody come in where they were talking about, and
And he brought me back, which was nice.
You didn't make you walk?
even took him to the pub for lunch, so he's seen it all.
Yeah.
So hopefully he's here for a long time to come. So May, she was my right-hand girl there for 2 months. Send me emails without emails without emails. She did a good job. She worked hard. I know she worked a lot of extra hours trying to keep things going. Well, it was very much appreciated. So for that, motion to adjourn. I guess we can't have any executive sessions. We'll get in trouble with that.
No,
I was gonna say,
it doesn't say it on the thing, so we can't.
Oh, it does, it says if needed.
I'll
We
make,
know they need one.
It always
No
says
need,
if
no
needed.
need.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, motion made, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Thanks everyone for coming.
Hit your gavel.
Jen,
Bang!
Tomorrow.
so you can see it in a minute, so I'm gonna say it out loud.
Jasmine.
Now they're good to go.
Uh-oh, I'm in trouble.